Welcome back to my channel, guys. Hope you're having a great day. So it's another Last of Us day, so let's talk about Last of Us episode 4. It's worded a little weird, but please let me hold your hand or something like that. Let me hold your hand, something like that. It's worded odd. So last episode I complained a little bit about the fact that they took out a conversation or two, and it was actually in this episode, so I take it back. They did it. Thank you. So they had the scene that I really enjoyed at the end of Bill's interaction in the game, which is Ellie finds porn of Bill's, and she's looking at the gay porn magazine, and she's making fun of Joel. She's trying to embarrass Joel. And she throws out a perfectly good book of she littered. She littered, guys. She threw the book out. Perfectly good. She littered. So, so then we got to see a little bit of the backstory. We're getting ready to meet, and at the end of the episode, like I said, there's spoilers. So come back after you watch the episode if you're going to watch the episode. If not, you're welcome to hear about it here. So we're leading up to meeting Sam and Henry. And if you don't know the game, Henry and Sam are two characters that we meet along our journey that kind of add a little bit more to the story, and I'm excited to meet them. I'm very excited. And that's kind of like our halfway mark, close to our halfway mark for the game. So we are kind of plowing through here. We got to my favorite cutscene in the game, and that is when we are driving through, and I believe they're saying they're in a different state than what we are in, because I believe they're in Philadelphia in the game, but I don't think we're there. I think we are closer to Wisconsin. No, it doesn't matter. But anyway, we get to the scene where we have the raiders or the hijackers who try to overtake Ellie and Joel's truck and kill them for their supplies. So we actually get to see that. And this was another scene like the porn scene. This is another scene that they took word from the game. Now, I personally could only hear Ashley and Troy in my head when I was watching it, so that was something I struggled with. But it was something that the people that were complaining, like the last episode wasn't word for word from the game. It wasn't exactly like the game. This was close to being regurgitated from the game. They just said it in their own ways, and I guess that's the difference between somebody's played the game and like the actors were told not to interact with the game. So that was a little bit different. So it was kind of like this wasn't the way I was used to hearing it. So it was kind of like my brain's like, nope, 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 nope. But they did well. So we got to meet new characters today that we've not met before, and these characters are background to help with Henry and Sam, because Henry and Sam, they just show up, and we have these raiders chasing us, and Henry and Sam help us get away from the raiders. There's a lot of other stuff that goes on, but that's their main part of it, is they're going to help us, and we're going to go through the sewers, and initially that means we're going to meet Ish, who is someone that we never even meet in the game. We just read about his writings and his journals. So we've been told we're going to meet Ish. So that's coming up soon, I think. So now we've met this lady and this malicious group. They're not Fedra. They're just their own little group of people who are stealing things and killing people for their things. So it makes more sense why they're after these people, because the leader, she seems to be the leader, or one of them, she is looking for Henry, because Henry and a group of people, I'm assuming, are in trouble for leaving and possibly stealing things. I think we'll find out more next episode. But she's after them. She's trying to find them. She knows they're still in the town. She found where they've been staying. So it suggests that that's the motivation of why she wants to find them. in the game, there really is no motivation why they're after us. They're still after us. Other than they're like, well, they killed almost all of us, so we have to go after them. We're going after them for revenge. It doesn't make sense in the real world. It makes sense in gameplay to have this like constant like, okay, you get through this and then you have to go through another like fight area, and then you get through this and you have to go through another fight area. It made more sense that they are after Henry and Sam, and we're just kind of caught up in the middle of it. Because why would you keep going after two strangers? Just let them go. It's not worth millions of people, not millions of people, but a ton of people dying, like in the game. So it makes more sense that they are after Henry and Sam, and they are also after anyone who could be helping them. So we're going to be considered the people helping them, even though they don't know who we are. So that was interesting to meet that background group. Sounds like they have a lot going on. They have some issues on their own. It looks like the infected cordyceps are underneath their storage unit building area. So, because there's like the ground's caving in and it's moving. So I think that implies that, like, because they said in a couple episodes that cordyceps go underground. So I think that's what's happening there. So they have some problems other than Henry and Sam, and a couple of other people have left them. Just saying. We did get to see a lot more of Ellie and Joel bonding. I liked that. I appreciated that. We needed to start that growth, and I think this episode was a good start. Last episode we had a little bit of that, but not much. This week they introduced the joke book. My poor family. Every time I heard Ellie say a joke that I thought was funny, which was every one of them, and which is cliche as heck, I messaged my mother. I'm sorry, Mom. My favorite ones were, why did the scarecrow get an award? Because he was found outstanding in his field. And then the other one was, did you know that diarrhea is hereditary? Yeah, it runs in your genes. And that was the first time we've really seen Joel after the first episode with Sarah, after Sarah laughing. Like, he actually allowed us to see a moment of Joel who was just like laughing and not on edge. So it was great. We actually got to see him roughing it in this episode. So like they were actually out in the woods camping. This is kind of like when he's introduced the idea to Ellie that, infect is not our only problem. It's people who are our problem. And we have to be careful. And that's mostly the game. That is how The Last of Us is in the game universe. You find that a lot of the fighting that you do is not infected. It's living people. And how people are pretty much your problem in this time frame in the apocalypse. Not the infected. The infected you can control better. They're predictable. The living is not. So we got to see a little bit of that. We had like the interaction with the car wreck scene, which I really liked. They did very well at. And then this is where they did take over the part where, like I said, that we had where Joel gives Ellie a gun after like she saves his life. And normally that happens after like Joel falls into like this elevator shaft at a hotel, and he has to fight all these infected to get back up, and he gets in a fight with living people, part of the raiders, and he gets attacked by one of them, and then Ellie comes up behind and she kills the person. So this actually happened in this episode after the raiders like make them wreck the truck. That actually happens then because Joel makes Ellie hide, and then Ellie comes out to save Joel because he's choking him. And Ellie does not kill the person, she just wounds him, and then Joel makes her move away, leave, so he can kill the guy. And he's still trying to protect her, and she finally tells him, like, this isn't my first time. And like he even tries to get her to open up about that, and she's like, I don't want to talk about it, but it's not my first time. And Joel even apologizes. Once again, he's still in that mind that a 14-year-old should not be living this way, and he's still trying to protect her from that. And she's like, look, you can't protect me from this. I've already had a life before I met you. And I appreciate that he's trying to help keep her innocent, and I see that dad part of Joel more. Now, if you've played the game, you know that there's a lot of time when Joel and Ellie are not talking to each other during the game because Ellie's mad at Joel and Joel's mad at Ellie. And so, like, this was like an opportunity to still have dialogue and still have like growth in their relationship, but not have it to where they're mad at each other for a whole episode. Hi, Soph. Come here. Come here. Sophie's helping me today. Wanna help? Wanna say hi? Hi? You didn't know you were gonna star in this, did ya? Good girl. Okay, so I really liked it where they had more dialogue, more open dialogue, and Joel actually took the gun away from her after she shot the guy and then later gave it back to her. They did show Ellie being a normal teenager who does not know proper gun safety just because she's trying to look all cool. I'm surprised they didn't have her like holding the gun like this and stuff like this just because she's gangster, trying to be like a gangster look. But Joel actually taught her how to hold the gun, and because that is a conversation that they have in the games, like this is not for fun, this is for emergencies only. So I did appreciate that they had that interaction still, it's just at a different timing, and that's something we as fans need to allow Naughty Dog to do, and I think his name's Craig, and Neil is to just let them do it their way and embrace it and go with it. They do have us seeing a little bit of Joel being paranoid. He's trying to make everything seem like it's fine, we're safe, but Joel was really not feeling safe. Like at the beginning when they're camping, he tells Ellie that we're not safe from people, this is what we need to be worried about, and Ellie goes to sleep, and so he acts like he's going to sleep, but really he gets up and he's just looking out all night, trying to watch out to make sure they're safe. And then they go to sleep at the end of the episode, and he puts glass around, and he says that he's even teaching Ellie as they go, because Ellie's like, why are you putting glass all over the place? And he's saying, so that I can hear it if someone comes. So he's teaching her as they go. And apparently it didn't work, because at the end of the episode we meet Sam and Henry, and they're in their room. So Ellie's like, are you sure you're gonna hear it? Because you have bad hearing in your right ear. And he's like, yeah, I'll hear it, it's fine. And then Ellie wakes him up, and he wakes up to a gun in his face. And it's Henry and Sam. So we finally are going to get to meet them. It is implied, based on what I've heard and previews, that possibly Sam is deaf. And that is not in the game, but I think it'd be awesome if he is. I think that would be great to include that community. I love sign language included in TV shows and movies. I love it. And so that would be something I would really appreciate. And that idea of having to survive the apocalypse with that kind of communication where you can't hear when there's a problem and you have to rely on your friend who is hearing, and sometimes you're separated, so you can't really rely on anyone other than yourself, and having to use other clues to figure out if you're safe or not. And we see a bloater in the preview. So I did complain last episode. That was the other thing I complained about, is because we didn't go to the school with Bill, so we didn't get to see the bloater. So next week we get to see the bloater, and I hope that our characters get to see it. I hope it's not just something that's going to rip apart the people that are following Henry and Sam, and eventually going to be like a problem for us. I hope it's not just like one of those things where the bloater rips them apart and then we're done. I hope we have to like at least see it and interact with it. That could be what's going on under the ground when the ground's caving in. There's a bloater trying to escape. I don't know, but it's connected. And so we get to see a bloater finally. I'm excited about that. There could be multiple ways for this sign language. It could be just that's how they communicate when they can't talk to each other. So Sam very well may be able to hear. I don't know. But I kind of hope that they go the route that Sam can't hear. And I hope, if that's the case, that they actually, I'd have to look into it, but I hope that if that's the case for Sam's deaf, they're actually using an actor who is deaf or hard of hearing. So I'd hope if they would actually go that route, they would actually get he's supposed to be like 12 or 13 in the game, maybe 10. I hope that they did get a young preteen adolescent who is deaf, playing the deaf character. Episode 3, which is the episode before with Bill, they made a point to say that all the actors that were portraying a gay character were in fact gay in real life. So if they're open to that, I'm hoping that they were able to find someone that's actually a part of the deaf community to play Sam. So I'm very curious to see a little bit further on. Got another week to go, but we're doing good, guys. We have 5 episodes left, 5 weeks, and I'm sad because 5 means we're close to being done. We did get it renewed for season 2. I act like I'm part of it. We as a community did get a season 2. So I'm curious where we're stopping. I'm curious. There's no way we're going to go through episode 1. There's no way we're going to go through the entire first game in season 1. That would just not be smart. Just because there's so much they can do. But we also have 4 years between the first game and the second game. So we can have that 4 years and have another season of the 4 years in between. We could have that. I don't know. So I'm very not concerned, but leery about where we're stopping on the last episode, just because, I don't want us to plow through the first game so quickly, because then we just start making up crap that is not a part of the world, and that's when you start losing people. That's what happened with The Walking Dead. You go 13 seasons, you ran out of the storyline with the books a long time ago. So I'm afraid for that to happen. I don't think Neil and Craig will let that happen, especially Neil, but it's a worry. So hopefully they keep up with the storyline, they stay with it, and I'm just very happy to watch it. I got to watch it a little bit later today, so that's why my video's a little bit later, but that's okay. We're here, and it's Monday, and we watched it, and all is right in the world. So I hope you guys have a great day. Next week, I will be back again with another review with episode 5. Hopefully it's a great one, guys. I hope you have a great day. I appreciate you. Remember to infect that like button and subscribe and all that jazz. I'll talk to you later. Bye!